The world around us is manipulated right under our noses, mostly for the better, sometimes for individual gain. So if you're hurting people, somehow making the world worse than it already is, or even just standing in the way of something good happening, someone could right now be giving the order for you to die, die, die.
Hello everyone, I'm Captain Logan and welcome back to the number one show. Today I'm going to tackle something kind of off the beaten path for me. It's the brand new one from Robert Kirkman, Die, 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 number one, published by Image, and number two is also out, so I've read that as well. The new Out of the Blue series from Robert Kirkman, former Walking Dead showrunner Scott Gimel, and Batman and Robin artist Chris Burnham is dripping with style, intrigue, pulse-pounding action, thought-provoking social and political commentary, and disembodied noses. It's graphic, explicit, profane, and bloody as you might expect from the obvious tells, that title and that creative team. It's probably even more than you're prepared for. There are panels I winced at, and panels I straight up shielded my eyes from, like I was watching Reanimator. And I tell you that only to let you know what you're getting yourself into. It's a book about bad people doing bad things, and either hiring other bad people to violently eviscerate worse people, or doing it themselves. Right after a teaser where a bad man's nose is cut clean off by a worse man, there's a cynicism in the book's premise, and its attitude about that is unapologetic. We don't like to admit it, but this is an evil world where evil people do evil all the time. It's about people in authority who pretend to be principled to hide the unthinkable things they do with their power, and the sad but undeniable fact that it takes power to do something about that. If power corrupts and you need power to stop evil, then perhaps it only follows that you need evil to fight evil. I say the piece is inherently cynical. It is, but it doesn't read hopeless. It reads realistic. Realistic, at least, about its commentary. Money and influence are the driving force behind the wealthy and powerful, and the world is made worse because of it. In this book, there's a secret cabal within the government working to kill the worst of the worst that take advantage of that system, like pedophiles. The action is over the top and fun, if not, again, extremely graphic, which helps to offset the very close-to-home political issues. And it's weirdly fun to read. It shouldn't be, but it is. It's so intense, and it's about such serious problems, but it somehow doesn't take itself too seriously. And there's a black comedy at the heart of it that makes it not escapist, and it doesn't make light of the real-world horrors it deals with, but it makes it more of an entertainment, and that balance makes me not want to put my own face in a meat grinder when I finish an issue. There's a palpable, distinct energy and character to this book that makes it stand out from all the other hyper-violent political comics on the stands right now. I can read the pride in the work from the creators. They're passionate about what they're saying with it, but they're also drawing memorable characters and telling a story. These may not mostly be good people, but if there is hope in this book, it's in the last straw characters reach and how despicable they'll allow another human being to be before they do something about it, like a hardened senator who hires one of the assassins to get a pedophile running for office killed. She's really sneaky about the politics of this. She can't just have him killed because he's too well liked. He'd be a martyr. So she tries to orchestrate his suicide. She's willing to do awful things to make this happen, but there is maybe a shred of humanity left in her. And no matter how terrible a person is in this book, they're not generically evil, and I always buy that they got that way. And the main female antagonist so far is really fun. She buys a prisoner at an auction, and then pulls a guy out of the audience because he smells good, says he belongs to her now, and that he's her new boyfriend. One of my favorite things about this book is the cinematic Twilight Zone style openings. Every issue starts with a bombastic, violent cold open, and then leads into a full-page title with a different sentence that ends with the name of the book. The second issue briefly chronicles the history of the three assassin brothers, and the caption at the end of the sequence reads, "Eventually, they grew apart and went their separate ways, but rest assured, if you ever come face to face with any of them, you will die, die, die." I don't think this book has to be as gruesome as it is to tell the story it's telling, and I won't say it isn't at least somewhat gratuitous in its violence. I don't come to a comic to watch noses sliced off or buckets of blood spilled, but it's a testament to the panache of the writing that it wasn't a chore to read, even as I gritted my teeth through those panels. Burnham's art is really well served here. I never cared for his style and level of violence in Batman, but it's exactly right for this. And he's more detailed and polished here, even as heavy penciled as his work looks, as I've ever seen him. He clearly took a lot of time with this. I don't know if I personally can stomach a lot more of this, but if the premise and look appeals to you, it's absolutely a pull contender. It sounds like it's supposed to be a monthly ongoing and not a short series to collect in 1 or 2 volumes. Thanks everybody for watching, sure appreciate it. If you are ever in the Kansas City area, check out Elite Comics in Overland Park, Kansas. They've been supporting us for a lot of years, and they are my absolute favorite comic shop. If you'd like to support us, go to patreon.com/Geekvolution, become a patron at just the $2 level, and that'll get you all kinds of cool perks, including our twice-monthly uncensored talk show, Geekvolution After Dark. Lots more coming your way here on Geekvolution this week. I'm Captain Logan, and happy reading.